So it is the new year. It's new year, new start. And in this video, I want to go through how this year you can make $100,000. It sounds like a big number. If you've never done it before, it does sound very, it sounds big. It sounds almost unachievable. And you almost think like, only other people can make 100 grand in a year. Only other people can be at six figures with their agency. But in this video, I'm going to show you how you yourself, with a bit of work, a bit of consistency, can also have a $100,000 per year social media marketing agency. Now, as always, guys, just before we jump into the video, make sure you go ahead, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Massively helps out with the YouTube algorithm, as you guys already know. And with that being said, let's jump straight into it. So look, I'm not going to talk about specifics like you need to be in this niche with your agency. You should be in the e-commerce niche. That said, but I'm not going to go specific. I'm not going to be like, you need to do this type of email outreach method. You need to do, you need to bring on a team member for this role. You need to, do this with service delivery and run your Facebook ads in this way or whatever. I'm not going to go like that in this video because that's just technical stuff. I want to talk about one overarching concept, and this one overarching concept is the reason, right? This is the reason I am where I am today. And it is the reason that, there's just multiple students of the Quantum Leap e-commerce program of Centurion Agency who are smashing it with their agency, and also how there's students in other programs out there, whether it's in the agency space or, the consulting space or whatever it is, right? Why all these people are doing so amazingly well with their businesses, whether it's the student level, whether it's the creator level, whether it's mastermind level, whatever it is. I'm going to detail the exact reason why these people are getting results that they are. So, we look at people like Jeff Bezos, right? Mark Zuckerberg, all these just crazy successful people, the world's most successful people on earth, and we look at them and we admire them. We think, oh my god, that's so amazing, how did they get there and all this type of stuff. But you got to remember that everybody started out as the exact same, right? A tiny little baby. That's how we all started out, and everybody knew nothing, right? When you're born, you don't know anything. And so you got to think, you got to ask yourself, how do these people get to where they're at? How do you go from knowing nothing to being worth, I don't know what Jeff Bezos is now, I think it's like 200 billion or something like that, around that range, right? 190, 180, 200 billion, around there. How can you physically go from knowing nothing to that stage? Well, there's one way to do it, and it fast tracks, it really does fast track your way to success. It fast tracks your way to wherever you want to go. If it's to get to 100,000, or if it's to get to 1 million, or if it's to get to 10 million, or 100 or 1 billion, whatever it is, there's one thing that you can do that's going to fast track your way to that level. And what's that? It is to learn from people who have already done it. It sounds so basic, and it's almost lost its weight because everybody online talks about, get a mentor and get this and get that. But I'm not even going to use those words. I just want to talk about learning from somebody who's done it, and how important that is, like how vital that is to you becoming successful, right? So let's say you have this burning desire. If you're watching this video, you probably have a burning desire to get to 100,000 a year, whether it's from an agency, whether it's from a myriad of the other business ventures out there that you could probably start right now, whatever it's from, whatever the median is that you use, you have a burning desire to get to 100,000 a year, right? I can guarantee you, once you get to 100,000 a year, you're going to have a burning desire to get to 100,000 a month, right? And so whatever it is that you do, you have this burning desire, and you've got to ask yourself, how am I going to get there? Well, how are you going to get there, right? If you don't know how to do it, if you don't have a proven process to triple down on and implement on that is going to get you to where you want to go, what are you going to do, right? Unless you have, and look, you may even have an idea, right? You may even think, maybe it's not in the agency space, it's not in this space, maybe you have an idea for a product that you want to create or whatever it is, and you've got this idea and you're mapping out how it's going to work and whatnot. That's all well and good, but there's still so many other areas that come into that, team management, team building, sales processes, selling, and all these other things that come into play in order to make your idea that you have for this product that you're thinking about, to make that come to fruition and actually make it successful. And so going back to the agency space, right? You may want to start an agency, right? You see all these other people running an agency, you may want to start an agency. You see the lifestyle that it can warrant, right? It's not, it's not typical, but it can warrant a certain lifestyle. And you may see that and you may really want to do it. Well, now ask yourself, how are you going to do it? What are you going to do? How do you start? You don't know, right? Because you've never learned about it or anything like that. And when you learn something, you're always learning from somebody, right? And then once you start to learn from somebody, you start to understand how to go about things. You start to understand what you need to do, what goals you need to be hitting, how you need to go about, you know, in the agency space, how you need to go about outreach, how you need to go about sales, how you need to go about service delivery, all these things. Then you can start to learn from experience and failure and real life experience, right? When you do something, then you have a look at what that warrants, you know, look at the results that it generated, have a look at the results it warranted, why it got those results, what happened, what made those results come to fruition, and then you can start to learn from that, right? You can be like, okay, I've sent 100 emails and I've used this and it's done really, really bad. Why is that? Okay, well, the open rates were just, you know, the open rates were 40%. Well, you're only going to go so far with the email open rate on outreach with 40%. Right? And so that's then obviously because of subject line, and then you can start to work your way around it and start to implement that. But to get your foot in the door, you have to learn from somebody. And that's how all these people, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, all these people started out. They were learning from people, and then they got equipped with the right knowledge that they needed in order to start to implement. They brought people on board, right? And even that process, people think that, oh yeah, well, you know, I don't need to learn how to do sales, I can just bring somebody on board. But you still need the skills and you still need the know-how in terms of understanding how to bring somebody on board for that position, what you need to look for, how do you know that you're bringing the right person on board for that position and whatnot. This is all where, you know, learning comes into play, and this is why it's so important that you almost set your ego to the side and you just adopt strategies that people are putting out. Now, a lot of you are going to be watching this video thinking, oh, it's just pushing his course and it's just doing that, because as I say, I do have the Quantum Leap Ecom Agency program, which is a program that takes people from 0 to 10 to 15k a month with their agency, and then Centurion Agency takes people from 10 to 15k a month to, you know, 50k a month, 60k a month, 70k a month, 80k a month, 100k a month with their agency, right? And so I know you're probably thinking that, but I'm not even gonna, I'm not pushing that in this video. I don't care whether it's my program or somebody else's. The one thing that I would say is that you ensure that the creator, right, whoever is pushing the program, whoever is the face of the program, ensure they're actually doing it, because a lot of the people out there make their money from selling programs. You guys know the typical guru type stuff and whatnot, you know, where people make their money from selling others on how to make money. Like it's a ridiculous scheme that's going on. So just ensure that the owner of the program is actually doing what they're teaching, right? Because when they do, that is how you can go from 0 to 10k a month in 30 days, in 60 days, in crazy times, right? 0 to 6 figures in, you know, a couple months. That's usually unheard of. But the reason it's so achievable nowadays, the reason so many people are doing it, the reason so many students for the Quantum Ecom Agency program go from literally nothing to 6 figures in like a couple months is because of that right there. It's because they're implementing on things and they're learning from myself. I've been there, I've done it all, I'm doing it all right now. You know, we've got clients on board where we're spending multiple $1,000s a day, right? And we're as I say, I'm just implementing everything that I go through. And so when people then basically copy what I'm doing, it's gonna work, right? And once they understand as well, it's not that I, you know, just give away what I'm doing. You say, just do this, don't think about it, just do it and you'll get amazing results. It doesn't work like that. You need to understand why we're doing what we're doing and whatnot. But once you understand it and then you actually implement on it, and you implement what I talked about before in terms of, you know, learning from your experience. So understanding, okay, I got this result, why did I get this result, what did it warrant and whatnot. And then you go to market with what you're doing, and you start to collect that data, and then you can start to make iterations based on that data and whatnot. That's where you experience that exponential growth, right? It's the real life situations that enable you to learn at just a ridiculous pace. And if you can get to real life experience quickly by implementing on proven processes, you're going to be at 100k, you're going to be at whatever it is that you want to be at. Obviously, depending on your current state, that's going to impact where you can go within a certain time frame. But depending on where you're at right now, if you're at 0 right now and you want to get to 100k, you can do that within, you know, 4, 5, 6 months with ease, right? With pure ease. And it's just about implementing on what's proven and making sure that you're spending your time on things that are actually going to give you the best return, whether that be monetary or whether it's just you know, experiences, because experiences and understanding and having knowledge is just as important as having some sort of monetary gain from it, right? So it's really about, as I say, spending your time on the things that matter most. If you're spending your time, right, you think that you know everything, and I'm not saying that you do, but if you think that you know everything and you don't want to learn from anything, you don't want to take any information in from anybody, and you think that you know everything, you can do it on your own, that's all well and good. But then if you go ahead and spend, you know, a month, 2 months spending your time hours and hours a day on something that's just purely never ever going to work because it's fundamentally flawed, then you're just wasting your time. And then, you know, you going from 0 to 100K in 4, 5, 6 months then gets expanded to, you know, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. And then if it keeps going, you're never going to get to that stage. Whereas if you implement on something that, you know, is proven, you learn from somebody who's been there, done it, and is currently doing it, then you can really just compact that period that it's going to take you in order to go from where you're at right now to where you want to get to. And it's the same on the other side, right? If you're at 100K a year right now, or 200K or 500K a year, and you want to get to 4 million a year, you want to get to 10 million a year. It's like my stage right now, as I say, it happens at every single stage, right? I'm not trying to go from 0 to 100K right now. Right now I'm trying to go from like 500, 600K to, you know, 5 million, right? A year. That's kind of the stage that I'm at right now. You know, 2.5 to 5 million is where I want to get to. And so now I need to go and look at people who are making $1 million a month, right? Who kind of laugh at, you know, people who laugh at like a 2 million a year income. That's who I want to be learning from, because they've been there, they've done that, they know how to do it, they know the ropes. And so I just now need to make sure that I triple down on, you know, and follow what they're talking about, what they go through. Just like you guys are listening to me trying to go from 0 to 100K, I'm listening to them trying to go from, you know, 500K to 2, 3, 4, 5 million. And that's how I always stay on top of my game, and it's how I continue to grow. So another big issue that I see a lot of people do is that as soon as they hit 100K, 200K, they think that they know everything, and then they start to seriously kind of just stagnate within their business because they're not indoctrinating new concepts, they're not understanding how to, you know, get to the next level or anything like that, because they think they know everything because they're making a little bit of money, but then they start to really slope off, and then that's the end of them, right? And so I don't want the same for you. And so that's basically the moral of this story, and it's how you can go truly. This is not like some airy-fairy concepts or selling you a fake lifestyle. Like, this is genuinely practical stuff. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. Trust me, it takes hard work and consistently hard work over a long period of time. That's how you get to these results. That's how you get these, or get to these heights and get these results, right? Within your agency and within your life, right? But if you do it and you're willing to do it, like, it's so doable. It's the easiest, hardest thing you'll ever do, right? It's the easiest, hardest thing you'll ever do. And my job is to try and make that as easy as possible for you, and make your, you know, you go from 0 to 100K, 0 to 200K, make that time frame as compact as possible. So I hope this gave you a bit of motivation, shows you how doable it is, and also gave you a couple actionable things to implement on in order to make your journey, yes, from 0 to 100K as compact as possible in the quickest time frame as possible, and also in as enjoyable as possible as well. So with that being said, I hope you all had a great new year. I hope you all have a great year this year. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.